Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Backstage with the Simple Church. We are excited to talk all about the Simple Kids that we do here, FX Live, Easter, all kinds of good stuff.
Yes, we talk to El Gordo, which is me.
That's Spanish for
The Gordo.
It's a great joke every time.
Yes, I know. I love it. Thank you, Chris Farley.
Well, rest in peace. But we are glad you're here. Make sure you give us a review if you're listening to this podcast. Give it a like on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you're listening so you don't miss a single episode. And check out this great conversation with the SK team. Justin was back yesterday, and he does it better than anyone.
Yes. Well, I can't do it, or else maybe I try to do it too silly.
I bet Emily could do it. Maybe we'll get Emily to record one today,
Can
and
you
then we'll
do
keep
it?
it on file.
He does the
He hits a high note. We'll show you. We'll play later.
staring at you and doing that. By the way, was made very nerve-wracking. I just want you to know.
Good video.
Yeah.
Okay, that's odd.
Good morning, Scott.
I'm odd. Good morning, Evan. We have two lovely ladies with us. Amiee Sandifer
Hello.
and Emily Petzold
Hey.
of the SK Live department.
3 of our actors.
Oh, that's right. I'm an
Yes,
actor.
You are.
Yes, I am the great El Gordo.
Spanish for.
The Gordo.
So you guys are here to talk about the kid stuff. We're going to look back at FX Live we just had a couple weeks ago, which was fantastic, and what's coming up at Easter. So first, let's go around and introduce yourself. Amiee, we'll start with you. What do you do? Tell us about your family, and talk about how long you've been at Simple Church.
Okay. Well, I'm Amiee Sandifer, and by day, I'm a nurse practitioner, but by night, I am the SK leader. I go by Mrs. F. She's my alter ego. So I play the mom of the Clubhouse Kids, and I host within the when we do, of course, live, SK Live, but I also have been hosting with the recordings that we've been doing for the Simple Kids TV.
On YouTube, that's right.
On YouTube, and I love it. I'm married. I have 2 kids, and then I have 2 bonus children, so a total of 4 kids and a grandchild, and a new fur baby puppy. So it's nothing too exciting, but
the fur baby is another French bulldog,
a
is it not?
French bulldog. Yes, yes.
How many French bulldogs do you have now?
Well, we had 3. Lola, God rest her soul, but now we are down to 2. So, yes. So I have Rocky, who's about 13 years old, and then now Winston, and he
Sir
is
Winston.
Sir Winston. So he is 13 weeks old.
Well, I guess if he was a French
yes.
bulldog, he would have more of a French accent.
He does actually when he talks.
It seems right. So you are actually Scott's mom in the skits.
I am
Yes.
Scott's mom.
Mrs.
So
F stands for Mrs. Finkenhofer.
Mrs. Finkenhofer, and I am proud of my son Gordo.
You shouldn't be.
Yes, no, he's a fantastic son. So, but yes, that's
Gordo,
who I play.
not me.
Yeah, in real life, forward.
I said Gordo, I didn't say Scott.
That's right. Absolutely. So Emily, how about you?
I'm Emily. I'm the assistant to the children's pastor at Simple Church, and I do a bunch of different things.
A lot of hats.
I kind of just fill in. Lately, I've been mainly Mrs. Petzold, seeing that my husband is Mr. Petzold, the crazy Mr. Petzold. And yeah, and then I do whatever is needed.
Yes.
I direct.
Which is a lot.
I write the scripts.
FX box stuff.
Yes, I design and fill the FX boxes that we'll get into later. And yeah.
That's great. And how about your family?
I have a husband and 3 children and 4 dogs, the dogs of Marvel.
Say their names because this is
They
great.
have an Instagram.
We've got Thor, Loki, Captain, and Pepper Potts. Yes.
Loki's my favorite.
Oh,
And then my children are Reagan, Ramsey, and Fox.
there you go.
Should probably mention them instead of just my dog.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Oh, I forgot. Yes.
Well, we know where the
we don't
children sit.
mention, we don't
We'd
mention
rather
the
talk
kid's
about the
name,
dogs.
but we love the dogs.
That's right. So Emily, we'll start with you. How long have you been at Simple Church? Tell us about how you got involved and got
Since-
started doing the stuff with the kids.
I've been here since day 1.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. Day 1. Yeah, when Justin started thinking about it, we were in those planning meetings, and yep, first I was singing on stage the very first day in June of, what was that?
07, I believe.
07, yeah.
Wow. Been a long time. Amiee, how about you?
Yep.
I have been in Simple Church since about 2009, I believe. The first service I went to was when it was at the bar.
Yeah.
And they did baptism over I guess it was the bowling alley at the time. So that was my very first service.
What made y'all
and
decide to come to that?
I don't know what drew me to that. I can't remember. It's so long ago. I just went on a whim. I was looking for a church home. I thought this sounds crazy enough to try out, and I was hooked the moment I went and have been ever since.
And we talked with Justin yesterday about the bar.
We did. If you listen to the Backstage podcast that from last week, there's one that's there, and he's telling that story. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Fun fact, me and Amy met when she helped deliver Fox, my now 11-year-old.
Yes.
And she recognized Mr. Pretzold.
Yes,
Really?
I did.
Her
I did.
son was in the kids program at the time.
Yes,
so.
and I didn't realize who he was. I have a long story about Mr. Pretzel and his impatience while his wife was waiting in the exam room.
He hadn't learned patience yet at that point.
But he's still learning patience according to the
FX Live last
FX
week,
Live.
It's a work in progress.
It's a work in progress.
That's funny. I'd never heard that.
Wow.
I'll tell you about it.
All right, we'll do that later. Absolutely. So, what made you, Amy, decide to start doing the kids ministry stuff and acting, being on stage? That's not for everybody. Some people it's terrified of that. What made
Yes.
you decide to do that? Do you have a theater background? Did you do stuff before?
I have not. I have always just loved children, and I mean they're actually just my heart. And at the time that I volunteered, my son was actually in the Simple Kids, and I just wanted to volunteer to be with him. They needed volunteers, and then as time went on, Emily said, "I would like you to do a skit," and I was like, "That is not for me. I do not get up on stage, but it's for the kids, and I will do anything for the kids." And that's how it started with being Mrs. F. Actually, my first role was as a Jessica. And then I was a reporter. I'll never forget it. And then I went to Mrs. F as we developed the Clubhouse Kids. So, and I stayed in it as my kids grew. My son is now 21, almost 22. And I've been there ever since. And I love it. It's just a part of, I just identify with it. It's just a part of who I am. So.
It's awesome. Emily, how about you? You've been on stage pretty much your whole life.
Hold
right?
on. Hold on.
Yes,
I have
sir.
one question. Sorry, before I forget it. When did we start doing the Clubhouse Kids?
Oh, yeah.
Putting them
let's
on the
see.
spot.
It's been
Well, no, because I'm a part of it. I'm going, yeah, when did we start that?
It's been at least 7 years.
Wow.
Because I think my 8th grader was either in kindergarten or first grade
Yeah.
when we started.
Because we would do skits, they just weren't Clubhouse skits. They were different
They were kinda
characters each
random
time.
characters
Yes.
each time.
Yeah, I don't remember when I can't exactly remember when I came up there and started doing it.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember the first time y'all did SK Summer.
Yeah.
So that was like 2016.
But by that time,
y'all been doing
the
it for a while.
characters had been established.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember when I was even asked to be Gordo or any of that. It's just kind of all a blur to me.
Runs together.
Yeah, well, when you're a star,
Oh.
that's
You get so many roles that get mixed up.
All the gigs you have, it's hard to keep up.
yeah. Anyway,
That's right. So, Emily, how about you? You've been on stage. Did you have an acting theater background?
More of a ministry background. My dad was in the ministry. He was a music pastor, so that's where I get that side from. But yeah, I'm a shy person off the stage, but I like being on the stage for some reason. It's just where I light up the best. So that's where I gravitate to. And yeah, so I love being on the creative background side too, of writing some of the skits and getting all the props ready. And yeah.
And then Ramsey, your daughter's super involved in doing plays and
Yes,
acting.
she is. She loves the theater. She's she's been in 13, 14 different plays and musicals here locally. And so we're ready to get her on the stage at Simple Church too.
There you go.
Raising up that next generation.
That's
Right.
awesome.
and I want to give you props too, and you and Christy both, because we used to go by the script of Orange, which was a conference that we used to go to, and we still use.
A curriculum.
Yeah, curriculum. But then they decided, because of all kinds of different reasons that I won't go into, nothing negative, but they decided to kind of quit their Clubhouse skits. And Emily and Christy started writing them themselves.
Yes.
And so for the past, 2 years now, they have actually been writing all the Clubhouse skits, including the one we just did for the big FX event. which is great because they fit right into what we're talking about. And that's just
Yes.
awesome for them to do that and just to take that on. And it's great. And it's relatable. So
And part of that reason is we know what our kids here like and gravitate to and will relate to. And so we want them to be, involved and that's why they love Mrs. F and Gordo and Marshall. That's why they love them so much because, it's like their family. It's what they come to Sunday for. They don't want to see someone else different up there that they don't know and different. And it helps them absorb Jesus better when they're comfortable with it and know
absorbing
those characters.
Jesus.
But that's a great point. It's not
Yes.
just entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not just fun. You guys
Right.
teach them Bible
doing it for a
lessons,
reason.
morals.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's a
Yeah.
huge thing for kids. And I think for a lot of families, it's hard for them to take their kids upstairs or they don't want to leave. And there's that apprehension. When we were meeting before, it's big. So what would you say to a family that maybe they don't take their kids upstairs or don't have kids ministry or they're nervous about coming back as we talk about going forward and what we're going into? What would you say is the benefit of a parent or grandparent that bringing their kids into the kids ministry? Either of you want to jump in on that?
I
Emily?
think they're missing out on a huge opportunity for their kids to meet Jesus. I mean, even sometimes as a grown-up, it gets boring downstairs. I mean, it's great, but I mean, those kids aren't going to get anything from being downstairs, really, except for learning how to be an adult and sit there and be quiet. And but upstairs, they're free to be themselves, which allows them to actually listen and be involved and grasp the lesson for the week. So
Yeah, and I think too, we love those kids. I mean, we have been around those kids we remember seeing them in just 2 or 3 year old classes and, having them grow up with us and then watching them go into middle school and above. And I mean, we develop a relationship with those children. I mean, we're there all the time, every week, unless we're out of town or, something like that. And then our lessons are everything, kids' attention spans are short. So we do things in little bursts. I mean, we do a praise and worship song. We do a little Bible story. We do a skit that brings in the lesson for the day. We jump up and down. We have a good time. So I think it's geared for that age group where they retain the information as well. Mm-hmm. And then at the end, hey, I know I can pray. I mean, I may be only in the 3rd grade, but I can pray for people. Or, if I have a prayer request, I can go to one of the leaders and talk to them about it. So that's why I think it's so important that they come up there. I always tell parents, just try it. If they don't like it, we'll call you out, Mm-hmm. But
Right.
for the most part, kids, when the parents come, they're like, I didn't know church was going to be over so soon, so.
Well, and I've even seen personally where kids come in crying because they're
Right.
kindergartners or 1st grade. They've never really experienced that before. They're, attached to their mom. And then at the end of it, they're like, so can I come back Sunday?
Yes.
Next week? And they're like, well, yeah. Yeah, so because they come in all scared, and then all of a sudden they have a really great time because of what we do and what Christy and what y'all do in there and teaching them and all that, and then they end up loving it, and then they want to stay. So even the nervous kids end up really enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
I have yet to see one kid that came up there and go, nah, I don't want to come back.
Right. A lot of them, even sometimes when they go into the 5th grade, moving up to 6th grade, they're going, "Gosh, I wish." Nothing against middle school, but
Sure.
they just
comfortable.
they do. They love it. Yeah, I miss you guys. So
Absolutely. And so it's been, over a year since we've really had it,
Yes.
but we launched FX Live out of that. If you
Yes.
guys don't know what FX Live is listening, you guys created an event. It was on a Saturday night a couple weeks ago and tried to go and make it a program for kids that was safe for families at the municipal, that we were able to distance and spread out. But it really was great. So one of you want to talk a little bit about FX Live and the idea behind that?
we just needed to create, now we know, looking back, that we are going to start meeting again. But at the time when we planned FX Live, we had no future in sight. And we've missed our kids so much, and we've gotten feedback where our kids just want to be back. And so we tried to create a safe environment for them to do that. So the municipal was perfect. It's a large environment, so we were able to space out. And one of the most important things as a parent is to worship with your kids. They need to see that. And you as a parent need to see your kid in their element too. And so FX Live allows that. You get to come with your parents, with the kids, and worship together and learn those lessons together. Because a lot of time when you drop off your kid on Sunday, you don't know what they're learning. And I know as a parent, sometimes you forget to even talk about it and be like, what'd you learn today?
Right.
And a lot of kids be like, they don't want to talk about that either. But this way, you both know you can have that conversation. And so it's just an awesome environment where you can get there, you can worship together, you can learn together, you can go home and talk about it together, and a great family experience. So, yeah.
And the spinoff off the boxes, kind of mention the spinoff off the boxes that we give out.
Yeah, so the whole FX stands for Family Experience,
Right.
which stems from our Family Experience box, which was a child born of the pandemic. Since we couldn't meet, and taking it back a little bit, as a parent, you take for granted dropping your kids off on a Sunday and having us teach them, because my husband and I were like, we didn't talk about much during the week because they learned it on Sunday. We didn't have to.
Sure.
Well, when the pandemic hit, there was no one else to teach our kids about God. So the FX box is an excellent way to do that and have some fun and have something to do. So when we were stuck in our houses. So the FX box, the Family Experience box, has object lessons in it, which has 4 different weeks, so 1 a week, since each box comes out once a month, of a lesson that takes you through. You can read it, you can ask questions, you can talk about the different lessons of the week. Then we have a widget, which is a physical item that helps you tie in the story. Like last month was a little sand timer because we were talking about patience. And so the little sand timer, you would have to sit that there and be patient until that was done. You can play a memory game while it's happening. But just little tools that help you reinforce the lesson. Plus we have a do-good project, which helps us. We work with Robin, who's our missions pastor, on that, and we try
And
to
your
tie
sister.
that in. Yes,
People
my
didn't know
sister.
that.
And so we try to tie in what she's doing. This month of March, we're doing the Lighthouse, which is a retreat for children and families with childhood cancer.
Right.
And so we are trying to help them have birthday parties because they miss out on a lot of different events and birthdays. So that's our Do Good project for this month. Next month is going to be great too. And
You give us a tease on April?
April has to do with we're doing the 3 L's, but ours is going to focus on the L of Lebanon. We have a group going to Lebanon next month with the missions, and so we are going to write cards. We're going to decorate cards that will go to these kids in Lebanon who are Syrian refugees. And there's a group over there in Lebanon that is going to try to school and get these kids back in school, these refugees, so they aren't just sitting and not learning while they're there. And so we're going to write these cards and put our pictures in them and send them love. And plus, we're asking for donations to help with school supplies for this mission in Lebanon.
It's awesome. And if you don't know what's going on with Syrian refugees, just Google it and read some stuff. It is
Yes,
a
heavy
Yes,
stuff.
very
humanitarian
very,
crisis. Yeah. And so,
So that also-
Humanitarian crisis. Sorry.
So it also gives you an open door to talk to your kids about things that
Yeah.
are happening globally.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just in our city that needs help. It's around the world. So and then lastly we have our fun element because you got to have fun in
Yes.
there.
Family
That's what it's all
Yes.
about. Yes.
So let's take March's box. It's a thing of cookies, and we want you to decorate the cookies and make cookies as a family. And then we also love social media around here, so we want you to take pictures of those cookies, and you have a chance to win things. Usually every month there's a chance to win something.
We do like a little competition.
we do.
around
Can we talk
here.
about the competition? Can we talk about the February box with the letters?
Responsibility.
So
letters,
you had the
yes.
word responsibility. You're supposed to make as many words out as you can in that without Googling. It said in the description, no cheating.
I know our family did 113.
There's a
14
lot.
words.
Wow.
I
But
did like
the
76.
winner had 678.
Wow.
I think it was the Lord
The Lord's,
family. That's
yes.
right.
Wow.
So 600 words. We got bored after like 30, and I did another 40 by myself.
I don't even know 600 words.
Right.
Oh my God.
So shout out to the Lord's family.
Wow.
That's right.
Very good. Very
Absolutely.
good.
But they are great. And so I'm a full-time pastor, right? That's my job. I have a kindergartner. And those FX conversations have been so great because it's just a reason to go and talk about it.
Yeah.
And you guys do a fantastic job. It's fun stuff, so they want to do it. They're asking, hey, when can we do our FX box? And so we'll go try to do the fun activity or something together, but then you have that chance to have that conversation. It's a bottom line. It's really easy for kids to understand.
Yes. Yep.
We have a window cling little sticker in their bathroom each month with a verse that we're talking about as a family. And the best thing is it's free.
Yes.
Yes.
It is not free for us to make them.
So
It is free for you.
If you would
Right.
like to have them shipped, it's a small $15 shipping fee, and you can even subscribe, so you don't have to get on every month and do it. You just subscribe. We take it on your account, and you get your box.
The FX.TV, and we'll put a link in the show notes so you can
and
click
you can
right there.
send them to grandchildren. It's not just for parents. No. Send
Absolutely.
them to your grandkids.
Nieces, nephews.
I know Mark Perkins is a regular listener, and he does
Yes,
that. He mails
he
it to his
does.
family, and it's great.
Yep. And the good news is, for now, the plan is we are still going to keep up these FX boxes, even though we're going back to regular Sunday services.
Yeah, they're
Absolutely.
awesome.
So when can they get their April box? If they're listening to this podcast, that'll be the next one. Do you
The
know?
April box, you can get it on Easter. Easter's coming up, April 6th, I believe, right?
April
Third.
4th is the Sunday,
Yeah,
and then
4th
3rd
is
is
the
the
Sunday,
Saturday
yeah.
night.
April 4th.
And that's a good transition into Easter. So tell us
Maybe.
about what y'all are doing for Easter.
No, it's the 4th.
Fourth.
Saturday's the 3rd, yeah. Because we have two
So
services.
yes, we will be there the 3rd and
I'm
the
looking
4th.
at the calendar. Yes, it's
Confirmed.
the 4th.
So Easter, we will have a service on the 3rd, which is Saturday evening, and Sunday morning, the 4th. And we are asking our families to come on the night of the 3rd, on Saturday night, because we're going to try to gear that service more towards kids, because we will not have childcare for kindergarten through 5th grade. We will have preschool babies through 4-year-olds.
4-year-olds.
Yes.
Yes, preschool.
Do my math.
And that's how we
Yes.
always do on Easter because the
Yes.
space is the biggest
Yes.
thing.
Right.
That
Yes.
There's not space for kindergarten through 5th grade. Sit in the service with your family. But on Saturday night, y'all are going to do some fun stuff.
So if you've come in the past and your elementary age child seemed to be a little bored on, regular service, come to Saturday night service this time, because we will try to gear it a little more towards our children's and have a little FX time during the service.
For the children's.
Yes.
Children's.
It'll still be Justin speaking the same service, so parents don't get worried. It'll
Yes.
still be the same music, but we will also have some FX elements involved.
Plus the outdoor activities. So
Yes, always the outdoor activities.
Start-
Both days we will have the outdoor activities.
Yeah, you have an
Weather
hour and a half
permitting.
before. Well,
Yeah, weather.
It was
What are some
windy
of-
yesterday.
Well, I looked
There's
at
been
the
a couple
farmers.
of
Yeah.
almanac.
Yeah, I looked at the
Some
farmer's
crazy
almanac.
Sundays.
It ain't good, kids.
Oh, don't say
But
it.
last
Don't
year there was
say
a
it.
tornado on Easter morning, so it should be every
Yeah.
other year.
Yes.
Well, but
Oh, that's
according to
right.
the Farmer's Almanac and the National Weather Service, because I looked it up because I'm a weather nerd, this year is supposed to be worse than 2011, which 2011 was one of the worst severe weather years that the
Well,
nation
let's
had.
prove that almanac wrong.
And if so,
But it didn't
we
give-
always make it work anyway.
Yes.
We find something
That's
to
true.
do.
And it didn't say specifically on Easter Shreveport's gonna. I mean, it didn't say that. So I mean, it could be the weekend after.
Scott
so.
doom and gloom modem.
I know.
We're gonna
it.
say-
I am not doom and gloom.
But if you do come and the weather permits, there will be
Yes.
the egg
Yes.
hunt like normal. There will be games that they can play. No bounce
Yes.
houses because those are COVID capsules. But you can go. There'll be axe throwing, basketball, football. There'll still be ice cream and snow cones.
Yes.
The only difference will be that it's all the front end of the service this time. So we
Yes.
want you to come
Yes,
early.
beforehand.
Yes,
Yeah.
hour and a half you have to play
Which
outside.
the Sunday service is a later one. It's 11 o'clock. So you don't have to get up at 6 to get there and enjoy the
Yes.
Yeah,
And neither
6
do
a.m.
we.
Yes, I think they will open up at 9:30
Yes.
is when the activities outside will open up on Sunday morning. So
But if you're listening and have kids, go to the Saturday night, go at 4:30, get your
Yes.
eggs, do everything, play, hang out, have a good time, and then sleep in Sunday morning. Let the
Yep.
Easter Bunny come.
and most importantly, the bunny will be there
Yes.
at
yes.
the Berkshire Arena.
Was
Both-
it
both
one or
on-
two bunnies?
I think it's just
I
one
believe
this
it's just
year.
It's just
one.
Okay.
But he will be there Saturday night and
And-
Sunday morning.
Okay. Okay. I'm
Exclusive.
excited.
Yes,
Get
and
that
pictures are free.
Yes, they are
they're
with your cell phone.
expensive.
Yes, with your cell phone.
Yeah.
For sure. So we'd love you to get
Actually-
a ticket for Easter.
We should just get disposable cameras. See if anybody knew what to do with that. Like, here's your disposable
A
camera. Take a
Polaroid.
picture.
A Polaroid.
Oh yeah, there you go. I like disposable camera. Where can you get it developed?
I don't know.
I think
Sorry, that
Walgreens
thought.
still does that.
Do they still do it?
I think so. I think so.
There's that one guy in the dark room.
I can't remember the last time I developed a picture.
Me neither.
1997.
It's been a while. But yeah, so get your ticket for Easter. We do ask that you get a ticket if you want to come. You get your ticket. You can do it all at one time for your family. Get as many tickets as you want. They're free, but you can do that. And then that sends you a health form that the day of the service just says you're safe. Come on. You only fill out one per family, so it's super easy. And then you can go through and do all the fun stuff and enjoy Easter. But we'll have a link for that in the show notes as well. You can come and check out Easter. We want you to come Saturday night with your kids. Do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the plan after Easter. You just talk a minute for what we're doing the week after Easter because we're back.
Yes, we are. Ready or not.
So
we are back.
excited, though. Oh, I cannot wait.
Yes, we'll be back up there. A little different from
Back up
before.
where?
Convention
At the
center.
convention center.
Shreveport
Yes.
Convention Center. So if somebody's new, they've been listening to that. We do normally meet at the Shreveport Convention Center pre-pandemic.
Haven't been there in a year.
I know. I can't wait, though. Oh, my goodness.
Yep. So a little different from before. We will not have the 2 services. We will just have the one for the kids.
Right.
We will have 2 services, but for childcare and kids stuff, we will just have the 11 o'clock. So we ask you to come then. So
That's
yeah.
breaking news. I don't know if we've told people that yet. It's mixed in the back of Easter, but
Yeah.
when we open a convention center, there'll be 2 services, a 9:30 a.m. and an 11. So you can attend as an adult, do whichever, but there will only be the kids option at 11.
Yes, and that's mainly for your safety and our safety, so we can clean things. We don't want one group of kids coming in and touching everything and then turning around and have a second group of
Yeah.
kids touching those same things. So we are, for now, just going to do the 11 o'clock. So.
For kids, that's right.
Yes.
And there'll be a bigger gap in the middle so they're not running into each other, traffic
Yes.
flow, getting out of the building.
Definitely.
Sorry, I just had this picture of all the kids on the bridge just running into each
Head
other.
first.
Sorry.
But we are excited to be able to do that, and we're hoping that everybody comes back and eases into it. We're able to build up to it. But for the start, be there at 11. Plan on
Yes.
coming on that 11
If
o'clock
you are a
service.
volunteer and you're volunteering during that 11 o'clock and you want to sit through the 9:30, 9 o'clock?
9:30.
9:30. We will have a hands and feet class for the volunteers' children at the 9:30.
So explain a little bit about hands and feet if somebody's new or listening.
Hands and feet is amazing. I know me growing up in church and being a volunteer at church and having children, it's an awesome resource. So your kids aren't stuck in the same program, listening to the same lesson twice or 3 times. This is a class just for volunteers' children. So it not only teaches them how to have a heart for service like their parents do, volunteering, but it also gives them a different mixed up lesson so they aren't sitting through that same thing over and over.
Back to back.
2 or 3 times on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It gives them a different option of different things to do. And they do great things in there. They'll take the kids on little trips during the morning, and they'll have them hand things out or do different acts of service and stuff like that. So they're learning how to do good and volunteer just like their parents.
A lot better than the RAs that I was in.
Royal ambassadors.
Yes. I
Shout
was an
out for
RA.
any
My-
of those old church
Paula
folks.
Odom was a GA leader, and so I had to go to the RAs, and did not enjoy. Just
See, I did Awanas. That was the newer version of
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
Awanas,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Golly, I haven't heard of that in a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
I still have my vest somewhere.
I have all my Royal Ambassador awards.
There you go.
Yeah, I cheated though. To be honest with you,
That goes against the Royal Ambassador ways.
I didn't really care.
Not shocking. Not shocking. But hands and feet really is a really cool thing that people might not hear about or know, and that is good backstage info because if you're volunteering, you're taking your time out. We want to give something extra to your kids that they don't get anywhere else. It's Angie or Teresa that are Justin and John's wife, and it's a next level investment of going through and doing all that kind of stuff. So if we're going through in the past trying to figure out how to help people. If you're new, if you're looking to get involved, that's just another way that your kids can do something. If you're volunteering, that's great for them.
Yeah. I know when we started, my husband, who didn't grow up in the ministry or church, was worried about that fact. He's like, I don't think I want to volunteer every Sunday or do this because I don't want my kids to hate us for doing that and dragging them along and making them be there all morning. But my kids love it. I mean, they don't ever get bored. They miss being there and being with their friends
Yeah.
and having that heart of service. So don't let that hold you back from volunteering. If you've ever wanted to volunteer, don't let your children be an excuse because they actually love it and they will love it.
And
Yeah,
plus,
there's-
we have a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
And there's always, I mean, you can tell the difference in the projects they do because when they come from hands and feet, they have a totally different project than something that we do in Simple Kids. So they love it. They don't get bored.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So if there's a family listening that wants to volunteer in kids ministry, that's a great time to jump in and volunteer. How would they go
Yes.
about doing that? What's the best way? And talk about a little bit of what y'all do or what that means to be a volunteer.
Well, we have a fire ceremony that. No, I'm kidding.
Get the tattoo,
You have to lift the pot, and
walk across hot
yeah.
coals.
Yep. Exactly.
bad.
But yeah, they just go sign up. If you have the Simple Church app, I believe there's just an easy little click. It says volunteer, and you just click that, and there's a form you can fill out. And then after that, someone, most likely Miss Mallory, Evan's wife, will contact you and plug you into exactly where you would like to volunteer. You can change diapers in the baby room and hold sweet little babies, or you can come into SK Live in 1st through 5th grade and have fun jumping around and
Dancing.
Yes. And
Singing.
Yeah. And, a lot of people think we're just babysitting. No, we're not. We're becoming friends with those kids. We're showing them God's love. We're bonding with them, making them feel comfortable. Yes. It's not just babysitting up in the kids ministry.
Oh, no, they get to know you. And it's funny because I've been in Sam's before, and a kid will come by and they'll go, Miss F, Miss F.
Get recognized.
Hey, Miss F,
Yeah.
and it's so cute. And no, we have the best time, I think. And I think for volunteers, too, it's kind of scary if you think, if I volunteer, they're going to want me there, every Sunday. It's flexible. I mean, we'd love you there as much as possible, but we understand if you've got to be out of town or maybe you
Work every other week.
Yeah, I mean, just come when you can. Your heart. The reason I stay in Simple Kids is because it really does my heart more good, I'm sure, than it does them. I love it. It's a selfish motive sometimes because I love seeing those kids and their faces and their smiles and just seeing them change. It's just as I get something out of it as much as they do,
Yeah.
So.
One thing we'd say in student ministry is a loving adult plus time is good ministry.
Yes.
That you guys are there. If you have a heart to help people and you just show up,
Just
you get to
being
know
there.
them. Yeah.
Yes.
You don't have to have any certain skills.
Be a
Right.
Bible scholar.
I have no skills, and I'm in it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and then one other thing I just hit on is you guys both did it while your kids were in there.
Yes.
And so, to a parent that's listening that maybe has never volunteered to do that, would you guys recommend that? Was it weird that
Oh,
your kids were like,
definitely.
"Oh, why are y'all in here?
Yeah.
Leave."
No, it's
they're-
great to see
yeah.
them worship and get to, just even if you need to stand in the back and not right next to them so they don't feel intimidated, just getting them to watch them be themselves and enjoy that.
I
It's
think
awesome.
they're proud to see their parents there. I think they think it's cool, I mean, and you just, I would stay away. I wouldn't sit with my kids just because I wanted them to think that they could hang with their friends or whatever. And so, but no, it was the best choice, and I mean, I've been in it since. So,
There you go. Well, awesome. Well, we want you guys to go and check out the FX on the Saturday night. Go check out outdoor activities at Easter, and then going forward, be at the Shreveport Convention Center. So check out all that in the show notes. Get your ticket for Easter. Be able to come and do that. Yes.
No, I didn't have
Oh,
anything.
they look
Sorry.
like it's- that's all right.
No, my bad.
That's okay.
I was just looking at you talk.
There you go. I appreciate that. Guys, thank y'all for coming. Thanks for
Thank
being on
you.
today.
Yeah, we loved it.
Yes.
Scott, you want to give him the piece?
Peace. No, and listen, thanks for everybody that listens. I'm being silly, but no, thank you for and anyone that's listening that does have kids in the FX program or has been to SK Live. Thank y'all so much for just being a part of it and bringing your kids up there. We enjoy it. At least I know that I do. I enjoy teaching your kids. I love being Gordo. I love being recognized out in public. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
And so we can't wait to get back. We can't wait to see y'all again. And so, man, we just love y'all. Thank y'all so much. There you go.
There you go. Have a great week.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you so much to Amiee and Amiee for being on the podcast today. I thought I had a great time. I didn't think I had a great time. I had a great
I
time.
know you had a great time.
Yeah, no, it was great learning all about the FX boxes. Learned some things myself I didn't even know.
There you go. So all of the people that make the SK happen, we are so thankful. We're excited to be back. Get your Easter ticket. Plan on coming Saturday night. If you have kids or grandkids for some extra kids activities, go outside, hang out. It's going to be a great time. And then after Easter, we're back at the Shreveport Convention Center.
And we're back.
Have a great week. Make sure you leave us a review. Subscribe. Don't miss next week's episode. It's going to be another good one.
Yes, thanks for listening and watching.